something just didn't feel right. And later on that night, I got a call from my cousin telling me that I needed to fly home. And I said, well, I have work tomorrow, but I will call my boss, see if I can fly home. She wouldn't tell me what I needed to fly home for. So I told him, I said, well, I think it's a family emergency and I need to go. So that morning I went to the airport. I went over a lot of things in my mind. I called my grandma. They didn't want to answer the phone because they didn't want to tell me what happened. She finally answered the phone, and I was more confused because I didn't know what could have happened. Because I just talked to my mom yesterday, and my great grandma answered the phone, and that basically covered all of my worries, as I thought. I flew into Atlanta, and my plane was delayed. Well, it arrived late, so I had to press time to get to my next flight. And I walked by a couple of TV screens. I thought through a glance I saw somebody who looked like Michael, but I didn't pay attention because I had to proceed on to my flight. So as I was flying from Atlanta to Charleston, through my mind, I ran across scenarios that may have happened. And if something did happen to my mom, I was trying to figure out how I was going to take care of the kids because they're my responsibility. Always have been my responsibility growing up, so they were going to be my responsibility then. When I arrived at Charleston, my cousin picked me up from the Charleston airport and took me to Hampton Park. Of course, it was a long ride. I didn't get any information about what was going on. And we got out the car. We were walking, and she said, you know, you remember when we used to come out here as kids? I said, yes. She said, you know I love you? I said, of course. And she told me, well, all of them are gone. And I paused and I asked her, what do you mean? She said, all of them are gone. She named them. And the first thing that came to my mind was maybe a car accident, something like that, which in my eyes would be more accepted to God's eyes. But she told me that they got him. I said, what do you mean? She told me they got Michael. And it was the most hate I've ever felt in my life. I went home to my family. It was shocking and a numb feeling to have to deal with that situation, to plan a funeral for four of your siblings and your mom. And we had the funeral at the North Charleston Coliseum. And to have to close all five of those caskets and say my goodbyes. Was one of the most traumatic experiences I've ever had in my life. But me and my family, we came together. I moved back to Louisiana and continued going to school. I wasn't as focused in school, so I decided to move to Florida. I went to Florida, finished school, came back to Charleston because I wanted to be closer with my family. started working and just stopped asking God why this happened to me. When I was attending church on Sunday, they were talking about praying for guidance, not praying and asking God why. Because I figured if God did tell me why, would I really understand? So I started praying, asking for guidance, asking, so what am I supposed to do with this story?